Thomas is a tank engine who lives at a big station. A short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, always pulling coaches about ready for the big engines to take on long journeys. Wake up, lazy bones, do some hard work for a change. And off he ran, laughing. It was nearly time for the express. He fussed into the station where Gordon was waiting. "Hurry up, you," said Gordon. "Hurry yourself." Gordon reversed quickly and was coupled to the train. "Come on, Puff Gordon," to the coaches. "Hurry, hurry," laughed Gordon. The coaches. "My wheels will be quite worn out." Thomas was uncoupled, and he felt very silly and exhausted. "Now you know what hard work means, don't you?" One day, Edward was in the shed where he lived with the other engines. They were all bigger than Edward and boasted about it. "The driver won't choose you again. He wants strong engines like us." So they lit his fire, made lots of steam, and Edward puffed away. But he didn't hear what they thought, for he was so tired and happy that he fell asleep at once. Gordon was still boasting. "You watch me, little Edward." Edward went off to do some shunting. It was fun playing with trucks. "A goods train, a goods train, a goods train," he grumbled. They found Gordon halfway up and very cross. They brought the train back to the bottom of the hill. Gordon found himself at the top of the hill. He ran on to the next station, and there he found that the driver and fireman were very pleased with him. "I'll get out my paint tomorrow and give you a beautiful coat of blue with red stripes. The rain will spoil my lovely green paint and red stripes," he said. But Henry still stayed in the tunnel and blew steam at him. "I'm not going to spoil my lovely green paint and red stripes for you." "We will pull you out," said the fat controller. "We will pull you out," said the fat controller. But Henry only blew steam at him. Everyone pulled except the fat controller. At last, Thomas came along. They took up the old rails and built a wall in front of him so that Henry couldn't get out of the tunnel anymore. He was very sad because he thought no one would ever see his lovely green paint with red stripes again. He was proud of being the only engine strong enough to do so. I'm going to poop at Henry. His driver stopped the train. While the guard went to find one, they uncoupled Gordon Will you help pull this train, Henry? He asked. Oh, I am stiff, he groaned. The fat controller leaned out of the window to wave at Edward and Henry, but the train was going so fast. The other engines laughed. Why can't I pull passenger trains too? One night, he and Henry were alone. And Thomas had to get his coaches ready. If Henry is ill, he thought, perhaps I shall pull his train. Thomas ran to find the coaches. Come along, Thomas took them to the platform. Don't be impatient, Thomas. The guard and station master walked up and down. The porter banged. The controller came to see what was the matter, and the guard find another engine. But Thomas was too excited to listen. Or perhaps the driver pulled the lever by mistake. Henry says it's hard to pull trains. People have never seen me pulling a train before. He was coupled to the train, and this time he really pulled it. Thomas the tank engine wouldn't stop being a nuisance. The guard blew his whistle. All right, don't fuss, grumbled the trucks. Thomas began. Hurry, hurry, call. Go on, they giggled. I must stop. When he opened his eyes, he saw he had stopped. A goods train came rushing through much too fast. I hope poor James isn't hurt. James's driver and fireman were feeling him all over to see if he was hurt. It was those wooden brakes they gave you. We always said they were no good. He has a branch line and 2 coaches called Annie and Clarabelle. You can pull coaches or... He could well remember that dreadful accident on his first day. I don't know what the Fat Controller would do without me to run this branch line, and he puffed off importantly. Edward and James passed the field where James had had his accident. The fence was mended. He was very rough with the grumbling coaches as he brought them to the platform. Brakes are hard on. Leak in the pipe most likely. You've banged the coaches enough to make a leak in anything. The passengers all said what a bad railway it was. At last, the Fat Controller arrived. "I see you are sorry, James," he said. "Have you got some bootlaces?" "We want a proper engine, not a red monster." And he pulled the screeching truck sternly out of the station. The trucks tried hard to make him give up. With a sudden jerk, it all came easier. "I've done it! I've done it!" he puffed. "Hooray! It's easy now!" But his driver shut off steam. "They've done it again. We've left our tail behind. Look!" James slowly struggled up the hill. As hard as he could. Then James saw the Fat Controller. "When I'm not there, they need 2 engines. Oh well, we all have to begin somewhere, don't we? Look at me now, he puffed, and the coaches glided after him. Poop, 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 poop. Goodbye, little James, see you tomorrow. We want our money back, they shouted. Thomas the tank engine is very proud of his branch line. He thinks it's the most important and at last Henry came. You're too fat, you need exercise. Aunt, where is our guard? They cried. But Thomas didn't stop till they came to a signal. Everyone looked, and there was the guard running as fast as he could along the line, with his flags in one hand, and his whistle in the other. He was very hot, so he had a drink, then told them all about it. He stopped as usual to take him water at the station by the river. bother, said Thomas. The bucket was old and had 5 holes. They stopped. The driver found notices in large letters, which he hung on Thomas in front and behind. I'll just look in the tanks.
I don't want to go anywhere, said Thomas. I like my rails, thank you. Said Thomas. Soft stuff. They finished their journey safely, but by now the country was covered. Thomas's driver and fireman came early and worked hard to mend the snowplow, but they couldn't make it fit. The driver was worried too. It's not bad, fireman, but it's sure to be deep in the valley. Thomas tried, but his wheels spun and he couldn't move. Oh, my wheels and cup!
The station master said, "Are you ready?" There was Bertie fuming at the gates. After that, the road left the railway. Then they had to stop at the station to let off passengers. Peep, peep, peep! Quickly, please, called Thomas. And off they went again. We're coming along, sang Annie and Clara. Oh, bother, there's a station. Across the bridge. But they gave Bertie a big welcome too. Well done, Thomas, said Bertie, that was fun. James grumbled too. Even James laughed. I mustn't stick, thought James. He stopped on just the right place to balance the... Well, well, said Gordon, are you playing roundabouts? The passengers were angry. But next morning, Edward looked unhappy. Gordon came clanking past, hissing rudely. To do, and they had a happy afternoon. Then Henry came by. Henry jumped and ran back to the shed. How beautifully you wheezed him, laughed Edward. I can't. Oh! Edward and Thomas worked the main line, greeting each other as they passed by. Along the branch line. Gordon, James, and Henry were cold, lonely, and miserable. He then told Percy, Edward, and Thomas flying for a few days. Happily to find Annie and Clarabelle. The two engines laughed and went on shunting till the trucks were tidily arranged. Next, Edward took some empty trucks to the quarry. Percy opened his eyes. Gordon had stopped with Percy's buffers a few inches from his own. But he went straight through Edward's station and was so frightened that he ran right up Gordon. The man in the signal box saw Percy was in trouble, so kindly set the point. Presently, Gordon arrived. Well done, Percy. You started so quickly that you stopped a nasty accident. I suffered dreadfully, and no one cares. You had lots of new parts and new paint too, but they've done you no good. All he could do was to go slowly onto a siding. The Fat Controller and fireman went on. Excuse me, sir, he answered. You're spoiling my fire, complained Henry. Henry won't need pushing, sir. I'll have to hold. He had never felt so well in his life. Whoosh!
The special coal they gave you is working. There was snow and frost. Come on, don't be silly, puffed Henry to the freight cars. The cars shuddered and groaned. Trickety-trock, all right. Signal lights shone green. Henry liked being a crew, but was glad to come home.
Meanwhile, Gordon At the station, everyone held their ears. Peep, peep, hello, he whistled. Oh, he called. The boys didn't wave and take his number. They thought it fun to drop stones on him instead. They've broken our glass. soon. Now, he said, à tous! May we go in it, grandfather, please? Good. Nobody wants me. No side plates either, and he wrote in his notebook. You haven't, so you are dangerous. Thomas puffed sadly away. At the station, Thomas's driver told the Fat Controller what had happened. At last, Toby lost patience. Blech! Through the station they thundered. Disaster lay ahead. He had run into two tar wagons. Beep, 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 beep. On jammed whistles and burst safety valves accidents. Then it was Henry's turn to take the express. But he couldn't stop himself and slithered into a Strong ropes were fastened to his back end, and James and Henry, pulling hard, that was funny. Annie and Clarabelle were deeply shocked. They had great respect for Gordon, the big engine. Danger! Engines must not pass this board. Silly old board, thought Thomas. He had often tried to pass it, but had never succeeded. But this morning he had made a plan. The fireman went to turn the points. Bumping the truck's feet. I wonder if Gordon could pull you out. Good, that's settled, rumbled Gordon. All the engines were working hard. Thomas and Toby. Sometimes they stuck fast and the men had to loosen them. Suddenly, all the lights went on. What a marvelous sight awaited Mrs. Kindly. and a Happy New Year.